Okay, Ebru Primetime News on this 8th day of March 2020 begins right now. Good evening and welcome aboard. My name is Kenneth. Kazungu. We begin with that coronavirus scare where the government is at pains tonight to explain the circumstances in which a patient who had coronavirus-like symptoms died at the isolation ward at the MP Shah Hospital last night. Government spokesperson Cyrus Oguna says the patient, whose details are yet to be known, had been suspected to be infected with the virus, but upon testing, the patient turned negative. According to Oguna, the country is yet to record any positive case despite the scare. Oguna also said the government is investigating how the patient's details were leaked to the public. That particular development is already raising political temperatures, with a section of political leaders now calling out the government and Kenyans over the state of preparedness over that particular dreaded disease in the country. Take a look.
Mambo ya coronavirus. Vile Magufuli amesema ati tufanye na mguu hivi. People are exaggerating. They are making fun out of this. But it is a serious thing. What we need to do is to let the government be alert all the time. The screening at the airport needs to be very strict and efficient and competent. Because one case, infection is actually dormant for 14 days before it comes out. So I think it is appropriate, because I've seen other countries have even banned planes or visitors from prone areas. Kwa hivyo mimi naona Kenya tusiendelee kujiexpose.
Na hii biashara ya kusalimiana siku hizi sasa mpaka corona ishe. Corona sasa hata itoki China. Nimeona Italy, Germany, India. Kuna mmoja nimesikia amekufa, amekufa MP Shah. Kwa hivyo imefika round. Kwa hivyo ile kitu mtafanya tafadhali, mambo ya salimianeni kwa mbali tu. Hata leo tukimaliza usikuje kusalimia mimi. Ni sawa. Tusalimiane kwa mbali.
All right, Kenya joins the rest of the world in marking the International Women's Day today with a rallying call of equality and justice for all women. It is a day to celebrate the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day is also aimed at helping nations worldwide to eliminate discrimination against women. Kaindo Stefano with more.
International Women's Day is a day meant to eliminate ideological differences among women, to celebrate social, economic, cultural, and political achievement. Inmates at Machakos Women Prison had a merry during this International Day for Women, when the county women rep visited the prison.
Sisi tumekuja kucelebrate na nyinyi wasichana, nimewaona and I'm so delighted kuona the joy in you.
Kwa kukuja kwenu mahali hapa tunaona mnatupenda sana na mmetuonyesha upendo mingi sana. Sasa sasa tunajifili ni kama tuko nyumbani.
Sisi upande ya wamama tunawasaidia katika hii institution. We are well facilitated by the government. We have a kitty for women.
International Women's Day is being celebrated when the fight for gender equality in Kenya has bore fruits as women parliamentarians push for more recognition in terms of leadership positions.
We see the potential of women in this country, and we as a ministry fight for gender equality. Sometimes people tell us, oh, the women are not enough, they're not on the space, they're not in these spaces. These awards show us that women are in every space, even in science and technology, even in engineering, the women are in the spaces.
It has been a tough journey for women in Kenya. Female leaders who have been in the forefront advocating for equality and development are always mentioned as heroes for airing the voices of many in the society.
Many women who have gone before us, especially those who have been in public office, like those ones who have gone ahead of me, the likes of Zipporah Kitoni, and many other women, Mother Karua, who have fought for space for women. So it's a delightful day when we remember those the women whose shoulders we stand on.
The next election, 2022, Wamama, Kama wewe uko na leadership qualities kwa sababu unapanga nyumba yako, nenda utafute MCA. Kama unaona wewe umefika juu kabisa, nenda utafute MP.
Kenya is at a crucial stage of achieving two-third gender role as it is outlined in the Constitution.
We are actually going now beyond two-thirds gender rule. The common women voice around the constitutional moment we have right now, which is the BBI, we're actually advocating for 50-50. Today, if you are in this room, you will see that we have women as capable as men. So there's no reason that half of this country and half of the population is even given a quota. It should be given its right, which is 50-50.
Mulitudinai, wanaume walitudinai. Iyo 1/3, not more than 2/3. 1/3 kwa bunge. Walisema pana, wamekataa. But it's a constitutional right. Tulipigania hiyo right.
Women were well represented at Zuri Awards, awards that are meant to uplift women and appreciate their efforts in different fields of work.
We talk about the unsung hero, not the usual woman you see every other day, but that one who's making a difference. Not in Nairobi. If you look at it, we had women from Bomet, we had women from Coast, Kwale region, so we're looking at all women from everywhere.
International Women's Day is a focal point in the movement for women's rights. Reporting for Ebro TV, I'm Kaindo Stefano.
Dr. Beatrice Nzou, I'm a psychological counselor.
Right, all the best to all the women worldwide. But to that, Kenya-Somalia border chief, where President Uhuru Kenyatta has sent a delegation of security chiefs to meet his Somali counterpart, that is Mohamed Farmajo, in a move that signals a climb down in tensions between the two countries over an alleged border intrusion. The delegation led by Interior CS, that is Fred Matiang'i, left for Mogadishu following a week that saw the Somalia National Army battle Jubaland forces in Bula, Hawa, near Mandera County. The fighting by forces traditionally united against the Al-Shabaab militants saw Kenya and Somalia accuse each other of territorial integrity violations. But pressure from the US and the subtle mediation by Ethiopian Prime Minister, that is Abiy Ahmed, saw the two leaders speak on phone on Thursday and announced that committees would be formed to discuss the border security. Now, moving on, the findings of an investigation by the U.S. House of Representatives has shown that the Boeing 737 MAX plane that crashed in Ethiopia last year was unsafe and not airworthy. The Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure preliminary report of its findings released hours ago, showing the greed at aircraft manufacturer Boeing that led to the death of 32 Kenyans last year. The investigation that was prompted by two crashes of the 737 MAX aircraft from Boeing that left a total of 346 people dead, 32 being Kenyan, revealed that Boeing, the manufacturer of the aircraft, made faulty assumptions about pilot responses to activation of the MAX's Maneuvering Characteristic Augmentation System, or the MCAS. As a result, Boeing designed that system, which pushes the aircraft's nose down, to rely on only a single angle of attack indicator.
It wasn't even in the manual that this automated system existed. It wasn't in the manual.
I, as a pilot, when I first heard about this, I thought that there should have been more text in the manual about MCAS.
The committee's findings also show that the manufacturer also developed the airline under tremendous financial pressure, which resulted in cost-cutting and intense efforts to meet schedule to compete with Airbus's A320neo aircraft. The desire to meet these goals and expectations jeopardized the safety of the flying public, the report by the U.S. committee says.
That you were in bed with those that you were supposed to be regulating.
The guiding principle of the FAA and manufacturers must be safety, not getting a highly valued plane out more quickly.
It took us 5 years and over 110,000 man-hours to certify the 737 MAX. I don't think that was a quick process or just cursory review.
Committee Chairperson Peter DeFazio said the panel's probe was ongoing in the foreseeable future and that the much they have done has been able to bring into focus the multiple factors that allowed an airworthy airplane to be put into service, leading to the tragic and avoidable deaths of 346 people.
If they don't fly, airlines don't need to buy airplanes. If they don't need to buy airplanes, then airplanes don't need to be built. And if there's no need to build airplanes, we don't need jobs in aviation.
The first crash happened in October 2018 involving a Lion Air Flight 610 from Jakarta in Indonesia. It crashed into the Java Sea 13 minutes after takeoff, killing all 189 passengers and crew. The second crash involved the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 on March 10th last year from Addis Ababa's Bole International Airport to JKIA in Nairobi. It crashed 6 minutes after takeoff, killing all 157 people on board, 32 of the victims being Kenyan. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. Some politics now, and Deputy President William Ruto has continued with his onslaught against investigative agencies and a section of public servants of being used to intimidate his office. However, leaders allied to opposition leader Raila Odinga refuted Ruto's revelations, claiming his counterattacks are meant to cripple investigations into the murder of Sergeant Kipyegon Kenneth, who worked at his office. Our reporter Jeff Haemba with that back and forth tonight.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. Deputy President William Ruto seems to be a troubled man after his office was drawn into the mysterious murder of Sergeant Kipyegon Kenneth, who worked at his Harambee Annex office. Just a day after he raised revelations on how a well-orchestrated system is paying for his blood, William Ruto, while in Meru County for a church event, reiterated that public servants and the investigative agencies are to blame for his woes.
If they are men enough, let them come forward and face me. Let them not hide behind shadows and behind telephone calls. Makarani na mabroka ambao wanakwenda kwa magavana, wanaenda kwa wabunge, wanapigia masimu MCA, wewe ukionekana na fulani, wewe ukiwa rafiki wa fulani, tutakufungulia kesi.
William Ruto, whose name was mentioned into the 39 billion Kenyan shillings arms scandal deal at his office, involving the former sports cabinet secretary Rashida Cheza Mohammed and the other unknown men, has insisted to be so innocent, but some high-profile individuals are after scuttling his 2022 presidential bid.
Public officers should have the opportunity to make choices that they have decided on their own, to try and use the criminal justice system to perpetuate a certain political agenda or narrative is in itself criminal.
The DP was accompanied by a host of political leaders from Mount Kenya, dared his foes to face him rather than going for his political allies. But his supporters have vowed not to quit anytime soon, regardless of the threat.
And very soon, we will expose them. We will tell you why ile flying squad ilikuwa Nairobi was disbanded. We will tell you why Kwekwe squad was disbanded.
Ama kusundi la mbimbia ile ambaye imefunikwa. 4 intentions. 1, kuangusha Ruto.
Hakuna system na deep state kuliko ile ilikuwa na Goliath. Lakini Daudi alikuwa na siri. He knew the secret. Kwamba sio farasi ya vita. Na sio ile kijiti ya vita. Na sio deep state.
But Nakwiki rejoined William Ruto's political opponent, led by the Dagoretti Member of Parliament Simbarati, during the International Women's Day celebrations in Nairobi, slammed William Ruto of being so defensive.
The Deputy President must give Kenyans a break. In these things, nobody sent a chaser to the office of the Deputy President. This is his allies who are doing wrong things. Therefore, the Deputy President must tell the Kenyans, nobody wants him to die. Would want him to live to 2022 to see.
a Westlands Member of Parliament Timothy Wanyonyi, Daud Ibrahim of North Imenti, a nominated Member of Parliament David Sankok, and Parklands Member of the County Assembly Jahenda Malde, who joined the Indian community during the corporate social responsibility, on their part urged the government to look keenly into Ruto's remarks.
Lakini nafikiri kama alisema hivyo ana sababu zake na sitasema ni uongo ama ni ukweli.
If he feels that his life is in danger, then he should take it up with the agencies of government that deals with security to address that issue, because we don't take it very lightly.
And I want to tell those public officers using those offices that soon, and very soon, we will call them out.
And then he's raising a red flag that somebody wants to eliminate him. So I believe the government should take this cry very seriously and...
Na sio naambiwa kama Matiang'i.
We can do lot, even we can do the 20-story hospital and they can manage it. They have the capacity, Indian community and the country itself, they have the capacity to run the hospital.
Deputy President William Ruto's arsenals are trained on Raila Odinga, who is likely to be making the 5th stop at State House in 2022. Reporting for Ebro TV, I'm Jeff Khaemba.
All right, let's cool those political temperatures by taking a very short break. When we come back, I'll be telling you about the Beyond Zero Marathon that is in itself also attracted a lot of political undertones. You want to stick around for that. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, the 2020 edition of the Beyond Zero Half Marathon went down in Nairobi this morning with over 15,000 runners taking part. But this year, the race meant to raise money and awareness for maternal health also had serious political undertones because of those who attended and also those who did not attend. The 2020 Beyond Zero Marathon in Nairobi County came and went, but left with it loud political undertones borne by who attended the race and who did not. The president, who has been visibly keeping distance from leaders implicated in corrupt dealings, today was seen causing up with embattled Nairobi Governor Mike Sonko, who is battling corruption allegations in court. The governor, who has for a while now seemingly been out of the president's inner circle after he was charged in court and barred from accessing his office, has in more occasions than one denied sitting on the front row with the president in public functions or even addressing crowds in national events happening in his county. Sonko late last month handed over key functions to the national government, after which President Uhuru Kenyatta met Jubilee MCAs in State House Nairobi and cut a deal to have Sonko escape impeachment. Begging the question, is Sonko back in the fold as the president's golden boy? Deputy President William Ruto's conspicuous absence from the 5th edition of the Beyond Zero Half Marathon has also not gone unnoticed. His wide berth coming at a time many contend that the second in command no longer sees eye to eye with the president. The missing by Ruto further exposing the rift within the Jubilee Party leadership, with pundits arguing that it is now apparent that the president and his number two have had irreconcilable falling out. Ruto sent a tweet and instead chose to attend a church fundraiser in Meru County, where his lieutenants wedged on with attacks on President Uhuru Kenyatta's led executive. Well, back to that story about the International Women's Day, and a women empowerment group in Nakuru County is calling on the government to scale down the importation of reusable carrier bags and empower local women use locally available materials to make bags for a sustainable livelihood. The Young African Women Initiative, or YAWI, says this will help in creating pathways to self-reliance among skilled but unemployed women who, she says, struggle to run their households.
Speaking during a tree planting drive to mark the International Women's Day in Nakuru, Yawi CEO Fidelis Karanja observed that women with weaving skills in rural areas and low-income urban areas have a potential of meeting a half of the estimated 40 million annual demand locally for reusable bags and ornaments. Karanja noted that if local women will be empowered to drive the subsector, consumers will be guaranteed of quality products that meet local demands that conform to standards that are stipulated in the public health and environment laws.
Climate change is a perpetuator of gender-based violence in this way that when there is deforestation, when women cannot access something like water, they are forced to walk kilometers.
She used the occasion to appeal to the private sector and religious entities in the country with the assistance of law enforcers to set up fully-fledged gender desks to help address cases of gender violence that have become common in society.
Training even our police officers or any other person who is engaging with the public to deal with the gender-based violence. That it's a good thing that the gender-based issues are also handled by private sectors.
But we need to join our hands together. We need to work together as members of the society. Every sector needs to come on board so that we are able to win. Both the private sector, public sector, and the civil society, and even the religious institutions. I want to urge religious leaders that since they are greater influencers in the society, they have a big role to play because they command masses.
During the celebrations, 50 women affiliated to the organization held a gender equality awareness procession within Free Area Estate where cases of violence against women and children are regularly reported.
We believe that at the grassroots, that's where the impact is. And when the women at the grassroots get to understand their rights, they will be able to, it will be a bottom-up thing and even influencing the policies and ensuring that even the policies that are made at that higher levels, they are being implemented.
Administration officials in downtown Nakuru said an abated culture of machismo and male chauvinism leads to violence and women are particularly victims. Busara Naman for Ebru TV.
Right, from Nakuru we go all the way to Mombasa County where a section of elected leaders in that particular county now say the rising incidences of drug abuse in the coastal city of Mombasa, particularly among the youth, are largely attributed to idleness. Mikindani MCA Juma Thoya says engaging the youth from his ward through sporting activities has helped reduce crime and drug abuse among the teen youths. He is calling upon other elected leaders to support the youth in their region so as to help them make the most out of their talents.
Kwa sababu ya kusimama na vijana ni kutafuta amani na usalama ndani ya mitaa yetu. Hawa vijana ambao wako mbele yenu hapa, wangekuwa hawako hapa, wangekuwa wako mahali wanavuta unga ama wanafanya kitu kingine ambacho si sawa katika jamii. Leo tumewakusanya hapa. Ni tatizo kubwa ndani ya Mombasa, usalama umezorota kwa sababu vijana hawana ajira, hawana pa kushika, hawana michezo yoyote. Kwa hivyo sababu kubwa ya kuhakikisha kwamba nasimama na vijana na talanta ni kuweza kuwaondoa katika maswala ya mihadarati kule waliko sahi wangekuwa wanafanya vitu ambavyo ni vya kihalifu kwa mujibu wa sheria za Kenya. Vijana hawa wangekuwa sahi wanajikusanya kushambulia kijiji fulani kama vile tunavyoona katika sehemu zinginezo. Kwa hivyo naomba watu waniunge mkono. Na ikiwa kijana hutasimama naye, kuna kitu atakufanyia ambacho utasema nilikosea kutoka mwanzo. Kijana usipomsort atakusort. Shida ni kwamba vile atakavyokusort haijulikani ni vipi. Kwa hivyo hawa vijana tumalizane nao mapema kwa kuweza kuwaunga mkono katika zile talanta zao.
Mheshimiwa wetu MCA tunatoa pongezi kubwa sana na pamoja na wale waheshimiwa wengine ambapo wataweza kujifundisha jambo kwake. Vijana si kukaa mitaani na kukunywa pombe, kukula mkugaa, kufuta bangi, hapana. Mheshimiwa wetu Toya anataka vijana tuinuke. Yeye anataka ukienda kwake uko na maono vile sisi tulikuwa na maono na kilapu yetu. Tulienda kwake hatukuomba pesa ya kunywa chang'aa, bali tulimwambia tunataka tuendelee katika mchezo wetu wa Mikindani Taekwondo Martial Arts.
To the world of sports now, and beginning that Mashemeji derby where Gor Mahia continued their dominance over arch rival, that is the AFC Leopards, In an entertaining Kenya Premier League match played at the Moi International Sports Centre right here, Kasarani in Nairobi County. Boniface Omondi scored the winner for Kogalo in the 27th minute to ensure the team completes a double over Ingwe, having won the first leg encounter 4-1. President Uhuru Kenyatta is among the dignitaries who attended the match at the Moi International Sports Centre, of course joined by former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, ANC party leader Musalia Mudavadi, and Sports Cabinet Secretary Ambassador Amina Mohamed. It is the first time President Kenyatta is attending a Kenya Premier League match since being elected president in 2013, in what is being viewed as an endorsement for Kenyan football from the highest office in the land.
They got behind us and they helped us today to get through in the second half. And, you know, it's a local derby. It can go either way. And today, again, it went for us. And I'm happy with the effort that the boys put in. Certain parts of the game I'm not happy about. Who cares? We got 3 points and we won 1-0. And it's the local derby.
Mine is just to uplift the boys, to let them know that they've had, you know, a good day out there. They've tried their best. It's just that the result didn't go our way. But I'm very, very proud again of the performance that they've displayed today.
In other stories, on former Manchester United forward, that is Dwight York, believes Victor Wanyama's performance in the English Premier League and a move to the MSL side Montreal Impact is an indication of the huge potential the country has. The silent assassin, as he was known during his heydays, his playing days, formed one of his most lethal partnerships with Andy Cole and helped Manchester United clinch the 1999 treble. Our very own Davis Merrier had an exclusive sit-down interview with the legend.
Leaden legged by Longboard's excellent challenge on Giggs, and here's a fine challenge by Cole, and it's led to Dwight York striking again.
Well, thank you so much, Dwight York, for joining us at Ebru TV. This is Ebru TV, and welcome to Kenya. Maybe as I start, what was maybe the memorable match or the memorable thing that happened in your football career?
Well, I mean, from a memorable point of view, I think when I first went to England in 1989, maybe some of you didn't even born yet. That was a transition from, you know, moving from the Caribbean to England, having the adversity of, you know, the culture, the people, the food, having to change all that around was probably the most daunting time. I was still very minor. I was only, you know, 16 years of age, embarking on a journey that I, you know, was longing for, and never thought I would come out, you know, very successful at the end of it.
We understand the former Aston Villa coach is the one who discovered you. How is the feeling, and how has this been enacted in your football career?
Well, I've been very privileged. I've been very lucky, because sometimes you need a little bit of luck. Coming from the small shores of the Caribbean, of Trinidad and Tobago, football is not really renowned to be like top of the sort of international sports, although domestically it was the #1 sport. So I was very lucky that Aston Villa came to visit, you know, the small Caribbean island. I managed to play against them, and then at that point is when we got sort of interaction that Aston Villa and the late Graham Taylor, who also seen a young boy who probably has potential, and he was prepared to take that opportunity and give me that opportunity to go to England. And at that point I recognized that maybe I have a chance of fulfilling my boyhood dreams.
Maybe moving from Aston Villa to United, how is it?
Yeah, again, I'm very grateful that I was given the opportunity to be at Aston Villa for a very long time, nearly 10 years. And in that period of time, of the 10 years I was there, I've been able to develop and get stronger, get to understand what professionalism is about, get to understand what it takes to be a top athlete and what it takes to be a successful footballer. So all that was a part of my development stage as a player. So after 10 years, I recognized that I needed to take my game to another level. I needed a new challenge. I needed to go to a bigger club to play European football. And so when Man United came asking for me to come, there was only one club I wanted to. So the transition was, because I'd been in England for 10 years, the transition was pretty much easy to go to that club.
Did it change maybe your playing style?
Yeah, my style had to change. I was more of an individualist at Aston Villa. I had to do a little bit more. I had to dribble a lot more. I had to create for myself a little bit more. So having made that transition from Aston Villa to Man United wasn't easy, but it was a much smoother transition. The fact that we had world-class players in every department, from back to front. We talked about the Giggs and Beckham and Scholes and Roy Keane and Jaap Stamp and Peter Schmeichel. These players are world-class players, so my game didn't have to change that much, but I didn't have to do as much because we had quality in every department. So then football became very easy and much more reliable.
I understand there was more pressure and expectations from the coach, one of the most successful coach, Sir Alex Ferguson, and from the fans. How was it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the beauty of when you go into Manchester United, I went in as the record signing back then for nearly £13 million. That was a huge sum back then, so a lot of people thought that I didn't value that. But so Alex Ferguson had other ideas. He believed in me. He gave me the opportunity to come and prove to a lot of people that I was capable of playing at this high level. I didn't think too much of it because, as I said, when I set out as a young boy coming from the Caribbean, it was about playing football and enjoying my football. And if that means that I was going to be playing at Manchester United and winning trophies, so be it. And that was always my attitude going into this big club. I just wanted to play football at the highest level, and I knew I was playing with some great players, and the rest is pretty much history. I didn't think too much of what the media think or what supporters think or what other people think. I just wanted to play football and enjoy doing it, and I did that, and by doing so, along the way I've been able to win trophies as well as win other accolades in the game.
All right, Davis Mberia, thank you so much for interviewing that legend, Dwight York. And that is Ebru Primetime News on this 8th day of March 2020. On behalf of the super amazing team that has helped put this bulletin together, thank you so much, Kenneth, for watching. My name is Kenneth Kazungu. See you soon, and God bless.